Hey kids, welcome to section 9.7, Other Housing Costs. Today we're going to compute the total housing cost and compare it with suggested guidelines. For instance, there is recommended percentage that you spend every month on housing. And so we're going to talk about that. What are some simple steps you can take to reduce your use of energy and save money? There are lots of things you can do within your house to conserve energy, conserve money, save money. And so we're going to talk about that today. So here's your vocab. In addition to your monthly mortgage payment, real estate taxes, and insurance payment, you will also have expenses for utilities, maintenance, home improvements, and so on. So we've talked all chapter about how you're going to purchase a house, you're going to have insurance, you're going to have real estate taxes, but you're also going to have all sorts of other costs. Utility costs. These are costs of services such as electricity, gas, water, telephone, cell phone, cable TV, internet service, heating, fuel. All of these are things that you need to be able to live properly in a house. Now, many budget studies and lenders, like banks, recommend that your total monthly housing cost be less than 35% of your monthly gross pay. So, if you know what your monthly gross pay is, then we can take 35% of that, and that's going to tell us what we should be spending on our monthly housing. So some of the monthly housing costs we're going to talk about: mortgage, rent, homeowners or renters insurance, property taxes, electricity, natural gas, water, garbage and sanitation, internet, cell phone and or landline. All of these are things that you're probably going to want in your house. So here's some examples. Number one, Sue and Paul Kwan have a combined monthly gross pay of $3,820. That's how much they bring home. What were their total housing expenses for May? Well, the housing expenses for May were the mortgage payment, insurance, the monthly portion of the real estate taxes, electricity, heating, fuel, telephone, water, cell phone, internet, cable TV, a loan payment, and they had to repair a storm door. So if I were to add all of these expenses up, $1,391.28. That is what my total housing expenses were for the month of May. Okay, so that's pretty easy. You just add them all up. Was it within the 35% recommendation? Well, I first need to figure out what 35% of my monthly gross pay is. So if I take my monthly gross pay and multiply by 35%, then it's recommended that I spend $1,337 on housing. So this is the recommendation. However, I spent $1,391. So I spent more money than I was supposed to. So was it within the recommendation? The answer is no. And then we're going to say they were how much over or under budget. Well, in this case, I'm over budget. So I'm going to put over budget. And now we actually have to figure out how much we were over budget. So take how much you spent and subtract how much you were supposed to spend. And this tells me that I was $54.28 over budget. So when you see that, you might look at your bills and say, okay, well, if I didn't have to repair the storm door, then I would be under budget. Or maybe I should take shorter showers. Or maybe I drop cable TV or something like that. And that could bring your monthly payments down. Okay, number two. Peter and Lucy have a combined annual gross pay of $102,550. They keep a record of their monthly housing expenses. The table lists their April expenses. Were their housing costs for April within the recommended guideline? Okay, so first we should find all of our total expenses. These people are renting. So we have rent payment, we have renter's insurance, heating, electricity, and telephone. This gives us $1,120.20. Now, the amount of annual pay is 102,000, but I need to find their monthly gross income so that I can take 35% of it. So I'm going to take my annual income and divide by 12. And that's going to tell me that monthly I have $8,545.83. This is my monthly gross pay. So now that I have my monthly pay, I can multiply that by 35% to see what the recommended spending is. So the recommended spending is $2,991.04. So if I'm supposed to spend a maximum of 2,991 and I spent 1,120, it looks like I'm under budget. So yes, it was within the budget. They were under budget, and we need to figure out just how much under budget they were. So I'm going to take my total that we spent, 2,991.04, and I'm going to subtract 10 or 1,120 and $20.20. If I subtract, I get $1,870.84. So they were like way under budget. They could totally spend more money. But yes, they were under budget. They were almost $1,900 under budget. All right, let's take a look at number 3. Melvin's monthly expenses for December were $548.36 for mortgage payments, $29.50 for insurance premiums, $122.50 for real estate taxes, $46.75 for refrigerator installment plan, $104.70 for electricity, $115.60 for telephone, internet, and cable, $315.75 for home heating oil, and $21.80 for water. His monthly take home pay is $4,500. Were his housing costs for December within the recommended guideline? Well, first I need to add everything up to find my total expenses. So if I add up all the underlined items, I'm going to get $1,304.96. So that's how much Melvin spent. So now let's see what the recommended spending is. So take his monthly take home pay, $4,500, and multiply by 35%. So the recommended spending is $1,575. So because my total expenses were lower than the recommended, then we could say, yes, he was, okay, definitely under budget. And we just need to find how much under budget. So we can take the bigger and subtract the smaller. So take 1575 and subtract 1304.96. That gives us $270.04. So he was $270.04 under budget. Pretty good. Okay, number 4. Lori and Mike Boyd have a combined monthly gross income of $13,395. Wow, they earn a lot of money. Their records show that last year they paid $25,000 in mortgage payments, $1,356 for insurance premiums, and $12,240 in annual real estate taxes. They also had the annual expenses shown. Did they stay within the recommended budget? Okay, well, first we should find the total. So if I add all of these expenses over here, New carpet, paint, washer, dryer, bundled service, water, electricity. If I add all those up, these are annual expenses, $18,460.89. So if I add all of the underlined values with the 18,000, I will get total expenses of $57,541.49. If I divide that by 12, that'll tell me my monthly expenses, which were $4,795.12. Okay, so now I need to figure out what the recommended value is. So I'm going to take my monthly income, which is 13,395, and find 35% of it. That gives me a recommended expenditure of $4,688.25. So my total spendings were more than my recommended spendings. So I'm going to say no, they were. And since I spent more, we're going to say over budget. To figure out how much over budget, take the bigger and subtract the smaller. So $4,795.12 minus 4688.25. That gives us a difference of $106.87. $106.87. So it looks like they need to cut a few things. Maybe they should have gotten a little bit cheaper carpeting or dropped something. All right, kids, that is how you calculate your recommended spending every month. If you have any questions, please let me know. And as always, keep calm and keep trucking.